Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Moletrap coming at you, and I'm going to be doing the OSL semifinals here. I've got Deja Vu alongside, and we're going to be doing the OSL semifinals between mOvie and Shine. And this is going to be game 2 of the series. We just finished doing game 1. Very interesting game, kind of indicative of how I think the rest of the series is going to go, actually. We were talking about that a little bit before. You know, Shine basically, he played a little bit defensive early on. I'm sorry, mOvie played defensive early on, expecting Shine to be aggressive. And Shine busted out with this 3-hatch Hydra build, which is a very important skill to have as a high-level pro gamer. And it just didn't work. mOvie kind of was already on the defensive, and he spotted the Hydras a little bit early, was able to get some more cannons down, and basically did just fine. And did just fine defending against it. Took him a while to finish off Shine, but nonetheless won the game. So mOvie coming in with a 1-0 lead right now. We're gonna have to see if Shine is gonna keep up the high pressure builds, or if he's gonna do something else. And yeah, what are you thinking so far?
Yeah, you know, I mean, that first game, I think we saw mOvie just come in with a better game plan, with a better strategy, better game sense. It seems like he had remembered to read the scouting report on Shine and really prepared to play a player like Shine, throwing down 2 cannons before getting up his Nexus, things like that, not cutting any corners really in that first game. And really that came out to help him big time when that 3-hatch Hydra came out. And I don't think that 3-hatch Hydra surprised mOvie at all. I don't think that he was at all confused. I don't think that he was all astonished in any way, shape, or form. So that didn't work for Shine at all. But, you know, this is a best of 5, so I think it might be in Shine's favor to maybe try and get into mOvie's head, maybe try and take advantage of the fact that he's known as a hyper-aggressive player with all these early builds, and instead of going 9-pool or overpool, go for a 12-hatch. Try and get down that early expansion, try and get a big economy up and running. He can still go cheesy if he wants to. He can still do 3-hatch Hydra or even 2-hatch Hydra if he really wants to, off of a build like that, but just try and throw mOvie in for a loop. Try and take advantage of the fact that this is a best of 5, this isn't a best of 1. You've got to be able to play mind games with your opponent. If you don't play mind games with your opponent, you're just going to fall behind in a series like this. And this is where you see like the top players come out with good strategies, and this is why a lot of them win. Players like Jadon come out with great strategies. He loses the first game or the first 2 games in a series and will come out on top. You look at a guy like Fantasy in that series a season or 2 ago against Bisu. Nobody gave Fantasy a chance. You know, he somehow beat Bisu with some just great tactical play. So stuff like that is what's so interesting, what's so awesome about a best of 5, and you just get to see how brilliant these guys are as like true tacticians, like really coming out and thinking of overall strategy over the long haul rather than just for one short-term game. And I hope that we can see some of that from both of these players. Especially from Shine, because he's got that persona of a hyper-aggressive build. I think he's got that opportunity to throw mOvie in for a loop and try and do something else more macro-based if he wanted to.
Yeah, famously, July Zerg, for instance, because you were talking about getting in people's heads, like July Zerg, basically, in my opinion, beat Best very quickly in a 2-0. I'm sorry, 3-0 in the OSL finals, because of the fact that you know, he got in Best's head and just basically outthought him and that kind of thing. So, you know, it can be a major thing, especially in these best of 5s, especially in you know, these high-level games. It would have been cool for him to go for a 12-hatch. I don't think he would have pulled it off, especially on this kind of a map. You know, it's very easy, and mOvie again doing some harassment here on this expansion. It's probably going to put down a pylon, is what I'm thinking, but let's see. Well, maybe he's not going to after all. Nope, he's just going to run away. He didn't do that in the first game either. It's kind of interesting. That's what a lot of Protoss players do these days, just to keep that hatchery down a little bit longer. So it was an overpool. He's getting that cannon down after the Nexus. He's going to be pretty safe. He's not going quite as defensive as before, but he is going to be able to get his defenses going. He's got that probe alive, so he's going to be able to see very critically whether or not, I think that's Shine's mom. For some reason, I remember seeing her before in another series. I could be wrong though. But usually when they show an old woman in the audience, it's like the mom of one of the players. Especially the moms usually show up when it's like their kid's first Star League. Oh, it's baby's first OSL semis. Oh. Anyway. mOvie's got his defenses going. Yeah, the Zerglings are not going to be able to get in there at all. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying something earlier before. I don't remember what I was saying. I guess I was just talking. Oh yeah, I was talking about Jelizer getting in best head. Shine doesn't seem like that kind of player though. He's not really the kind of player. He doesn't. I could be wrong because I haven't seen a ton out of him. He doesn't seem like the kind of mind game player that's going to be good at that kind of thing. He's just all aggression. And look at this. We have gas off of 2 bases. So we are going to be able to see. We are going to see some very, very, very early pressure. Probably some kind of a 2-hatch Muta or a 2-hatch Lurker build or something like that. I mean, he looks like he's going to set up a 3rd hatchery maybe too. But he's getting his gas extremely early, Lair extremely, extremely early, and mOvie is all over this though. He sees every bit of it, so he's probably going to be prepared and probably going to do the same thing where he's just going to play safe and then, you know, try and beat him in the long game.
I think it's pretty normal timing overall there, actually. I mean, he's got. I think that 3rd hatchery went up about the same time, maybe even before that. That extraction. So I don't think this is too cheesy so far. I think it's just a 3-hatch layer. We'll see. I mean, he could definitely still go lurkers or something off of this kind of a build. You might be around that, but I don't think it's going to be too cheesy here. Nothing 2-hatch, because 2-hatch is the uber cheese, the 2-hatch Hydra build. And yeah, mOvie playing just very solid, same as always, just not cutting corners. I mean, he kind of cut a corner there, only putting on one cannon, but not really. That's pretty standard versus an overpool there. Getting the Stargate out as well, so he'll be in good shape. Just going very standard, going to get his tech out, and you know, if this looks like Shine might even just be playing this straight up. I think he'll get a Spire down first. It could be you just go for the Neo Sauron build, 3-hatch Spire into 5-hatch Hydra is what I'm suspecting go on. We're not seeing any upgrades going down right now yet for mOvie. He does have both gases going, so this is going to be some kind of a tech build. Could be DTs early on, could be a DT drops, could be heavy Corsair, something along those lines. Also could be the Reavers could be coming out as well. And mOvie needs to be careful and not allow that Zealot to get picked off. But he is getting a good information of how many Zerglings are outside of his base, which is important. Same with that Dragoon. He's going to run and get out. He's got to be careful. Good. He doesn't allow it to get surrounded. And that Spire is coming up as well. We got a Robo, so this is going to be for some Reaver play. And mOvie's got some. I mean, that last game, his Reaver micro was pretty darn good. Other than the one Reaver that got picked off immediately at the beginning of a battle. Other than that, all of his Reavers were doing a ton of damage. The one got like 21 kills or some obscene number. So mOvie just going to try and go to his tried and true strategy. Go back to that Reaver play, and I've seen him do this on this same map to Zerg players before, and go with that Reaver strategy early on, and then do exactly what he did last game, and maybe go for some drops inside of Shine's base. So he's got he's just playing very, very standard by both of these players, and yeah, we'll see where we go from here, heading straight into the mid game, which is very, very odd for Shine. The 5-minute wonder is not going to be going for an uber cheesy build. Just gonna, yeah, this looks really standard actually from both these players. So I'm actually really surprised of how standard Shine is playing. I'm pleased to see this, and I want to know whether or not he can play a standard game and try and beat a player like mOvie, because I think like I said, I mean, he's going to have to do that at some point in the series. You can't win 3 cheesy games in a best of 5 unless you're really, really good at it or really, really lucky. So I'm good to see that he's going for this now. Going to try and get one of those standard game wins out of the way early on here, and I think that'll be good for him. If he can tie the series back up, he can go back to try and try some of his more aggressive builds later on in the series.
Yeah, I will hand it to Shine that he does sometimes come up with some interesting builds. I really liked his build that he did in the early stages of the OSL, where he had this Guardian build against Terran, 3 base Guardians. It was kind of crazy, but it was fun to watch at least. But anyways, yeah, it's a little peculiar that he is going for kind of a standard build, but he did it having gone for a little bit earlier lair, a little bit earlier tech than is normal for the Neo Sauron build. And, uh-oh, extra Zealot kind of out of the mix. Get in there, fight with your brethren! Go, go! There we go. 4 Zealots is a lot better fight against those Zerglings than 2. Look at that beautiful micro by mOvie. Look at that! Oh my gosh! All 4 Zealots survive! A Zergling Mageddon and 4 Zealots survive. Oh, finally, all the hurt Zealots, he should have pulled them back instead of keeping fighting. He should have pulled those back and let their shields regen, but that was just epic micro right there. All 4 Zealots surviving against all those Zerglings. Very nicely done. Anyway, what was I saying before? Oh yeah, so he got his tech out a little bit earlier, and I'm wondering if he actually did that on purpose because of the fact that usually with a standard Neo Sauron build, you get your Scourge out a little bit late to combat the first Corsair, and you lose an Overlord or 2. So I wonder if he actually even went for earlier tech a little bit on purpose, just to try to, it looks like a single Scourge landed there, but the other one got killed off, just to try to make sure that he was able to try and take air control a little bit earlier by trying to get his Scourge out a little bit earlier. But mOvie, though, did a very good job of keeping his Corsairs alive regardless. And look at this, Shine just lets the probe walk in all the way into his base, and Shine putting a Sunken in his main. That's kind of strange. Oh, well, never mind. That's not. Oh my god, he might lose the shuttle! He loses the shuttle! Oh, no! mOvie! mOvie. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. And it's times like those that make the difference between mOvie and Stork, or mOvie and Bisu. Yeah. Anyway. Now he's going to try and put some harassment on with these Corsairs, but that was supposed to be his first big push and harassment. He needed to put some pressure on Shine, and now he can put no pressure on him at all, basically, because he's got too many Hydras, and he's not going to be able to drop any Reavers out or whatever he had in that shuttle to try and do any harassment. So, wow, that was some epic fail right there, and nicely done by Shine, though, having all those Scourge on deck and sending them out in the right moment.
Yeah, some nice cloning there just now with a couple of Corsairs going down. I was actually getting really, really excited. I love Corsair Reaver. It's one of the hardest builds as a Protoss player to pull off. But it's so entertaining. It is such high action, high stress level. There's so much stress when you watch a player doing Corsair Reaver flying around the map against sometimes burrowed Hydralisk and the Scourge everywhere. It's so exciting that I was getting really excited, and then he goes and loses the shuttle like that. He didn't even really seem to be micing the shuttle. It would have been better for him if he had been maybe keeping the shuttle behind the Corsairs. That's where the shuttle likes to be, is behind the Corsairs, not in front. But unfortunately he didn't do that, so he paid the price here. And Shine just has a huge advantage right now in that department. Although we do have a huge Zealot force coming out here, and I could be able to do some damage. Another Corsair going down to some Scourge as well. mOvie needs to be careful. Does not want to keep losing all these Corsairs. He needs to keep that number at about 5 or 6 so he can continuously be able to kill Scourge when his Reaver comes back out. Actually, it looks like he does have the speed shuttle with that Reaver, so he's going to dedicate to this. And could be a big confrontation coming in right now, but he needs to get that shuttle to his troops. Cannot afford to have it picked off once again. Being very careful with it. Gotta be careful. 2 Reavers coming in here, gonna kill off a ton of. I don't know. Actually, Shine actually pulled back there, Molchap. Look at that. Shine actually pulled back after killing that shuttle. Actually remembering to micro, dodging some scarabs. So that was pretty awesome. And mOvie being careless here. Holding, he might as well have just held position those Corsairs over those Hydros if he pretty much asked for it to die. And it looks like this Reaper's gonna get microed down and probably killed again, and that is a dud Scarab. So Shine just getting a lot of nice little plays here, getting a couple dud Scarabs, picking off a couple shuttles, the Reavers, just doing a lot of damage here. It looks like he should be able to defend this base as long as he doesn't allow that Reaver to get too many kills just off the bat, or allow it to kill his eggs. That would also suck. And that Reaver does go down, so huge, astronomical, epic advantage right now for Shine, having defended that entire aggressive mOvie attack. And I said this at the beginning of the series, but both these players are actually really aggressive players, and I'm not surprised at all to see mOvie going for this kind of an aggressive build. But he's not successful, so just like last game where Shine's aggression failed and mOvie got advantage, now mOvie's aggression failed, Shine is in a huge advantage. So as long as he doesn't squander, as long as he doesn't make the same kind of mistakes that mOvie tried to make last game, as long as he holds true and is going for a drop here, but as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he'll just be able to take a win here. I feel he's just in such a huge advantage, and I don't think mOvie has any idea that this is coming. He's sending out presumably a Templar drop, maybe another Reaver, probably a Templar drop, and actually he does notice it with his pylon and pulling back now, but Shine being smart, pulling those troops back, so he's not going to lose anything either. And this Reaver, hopefully, if it depends how many kills he gets, he could work mOvie back into this into this game again. Actually, it's going to be 2 Zealots and a High Templar, no Storm going down there, unable to get a nice Storm off. And this could be a 3rd shuttle that goes down, a 3rd shuttle for mOvie goes down in this series. And High Templar getting a Storm, getting a few kills, but it's really not that big a deal. If it has another Storm in it, could be a big deal. And that Stormer hiding at the bottom right, if Shine doesn't notice that, if in his multitask mind, if he does not know that that is there, that could be absolutely critical. That could absolutely destroy him later on in the game. So look out for that right there. There it is. Shine is trying to lose this game, trying to let mOvie back into it.
Yes, he's making his best effort to screw up as much as possible. Oh, Dark Archon in the mix.
Dark Archon.
Partly that's pretty fun to see, but it's also I think a little bit out of fear on Movie's part because he's got to be a little bit worried about a Muta switch right now. And just as I said that, Muta's popping out, and there's the Dark Archon. I don't know if it has the upgrade finished yet for Maelstrom, but we'll have to see. There's a Reavers in play as well. He's got some Dragoons. So Movie a little bit worried about that Muta switch, starting to put out Dragoons and that Dark Archon as well. He's lost all of his Stormers right now. Oh no, he's got a couple left there. So he's still pretty good. And there come the Mutas! Whoa, they're going to spot that clump of Dragoons and just run away. Very intelligently there. But yeah, that was really entertaining to watch the High Templar chill at the bottom, and when he sent the drones back in, he just walked right up and stormed them all. Oh, that was great. Anyway, Shine still at 3 bases though. Movie still at 2 bases though. Interestingly, you would have expected Movie to try and set up a 3rd base by now. I would think, but I guess he hasn't really had the ability to do that. What was he just attacking there? Did he just attack his own Dragoon? He did. That was kind of interesting. He must have been trying to like A-move and accidentally clicked his Dragoon. Anyway, he's starting to move out now though. He's got a good army, a nice composition. Uh-oh, here come the High Templar. I'm sorry, the Mutila's coming in. He Maelstroms them! Storm! Oh no! Maelstrom Storm kills the entire group of Mutas! Yes! Oh, that was epic. And this drop to follow, though, a huge drop. And all of his units that could deal with that drop are out in the open field. We may see some kind of a trade-off here. He's brought a couple of his Reavers back, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to deal with. There's a lot of Hydras. They're all over the place. There's Lurkers in his supply line. He's trying to fight forward, but there's too many Lurkers on that ridge, and he doesn't have the High Templar to fight off all those Lurkers. Now he's trying to fight this off in his base, but it looks like he may be able to clean up his main base. If he can clean up his main base, he's going to be in good shape. It looks like this drop may be not as effective as I thought it was going to be. It looked like there was a ton of Hydras and they're going to be able to kill everything. But, Movie has managed to clean it up pretty well. Oh, and, oh, a Lurker drop on that ridge too. And Movie has lost most of his probes in his main. He's not mining in his natural right now, so he's basically not mining right now. So if Shine holds off this next attack from Movie, he's basically gonna be able to take the game. But Movie is sending a lot of forces in. He's still got that Dark Archon. He's got a few Stormers. He's got a bunch of Dragoons. I don't think he has any. He's got one Observer. If he picks off that Observer, it'll be the end. Oh, he's barely saved the Observer. The Observer falls back. I think he's only got that one Observer. His Observatory is killed at his main base, so he's not gonna be able to produce any more right now. So it's all down to this. If he can keep that Observer alive, he's going to be able to kill off the Dragoons and possibly do a bit of a counterattack here. It looks like he is breaching this front base though, but if he loses that Observer and some Lurkers come in, he's going to be in deep trouble here. This is getting really close. It looks like he may have cleaned up that Lurker in his natural expansion, but Movie does not have much of an economy right now. He's lost a lot of his probes, and he doesn't have a 3rd base right now. So again, Shine could still have a chance to hold this off and come back just with his superior economy.
Yeah, I was just watching the minerals on the bottom right-hand corner, the resources. Looks like Shine's macro is not really on top of his game. He's got so much money, and Movie's got so little. Movie's using everything he can. A nice storm going down there, picking up all these drones. And I think Movie has won this game at this point, very nearly.
Yeah.
Shine coming in here for another drop. I don't think there's enough there. But Movie was just on his game, reinforcing, and was able to defend with his reinforced units. And like just watching that, it kind of reminded me in like PvT when a Protoss player goes for an early recall and kind of does a lot of damage, and you kind of think they're winning. But then the push comes out for the Terran, and they don't have enough to defend it, and they absolutely get slaughtered. And that's pretty much exactly what just happened. He went for that big Doom drop. And unfortunately, he did not have enough backup units to defend, and now he's just in an awful spot, losing his main, losing his natural, losing essentially all of his tech unless he rebuilt something somewhere. And he can actually kill Movie's base, and it doesn't matter at all, because he can't deal with Movie's army. He just can't. There's nothing he can do at this point to really deal with Movie's army, and it's going to be difficult for him to get a win here, and even to destroy everything that Movie has anyways. But yeah, I think Movie's just finishing this up. He can take down that base at 12 o'clock really easy, and then Shine will be down to 1 base. He's going to lose most of his gateway, he's going to lose most of his tech, but still he's got a couple Reavers, got a lot of Dragoons, and what can Shine do to deal with all that, plus the Archons, the Dark Archon, and the regular Archon. Just way too much stuff, and that Natural's still mining for Movie as well, so he's still going to be able to produce at least some units. And I don't know if there's another Observer. I think that Observer might have gone, oh wait, nope, there it is, there's the Observer. And the Reavers are going to come in here and blow up all 4 of those sunken colonies, hopefully at the exact same time. That would be really cool if all 4 of them went down at the same time. And looks like the Mutilas are coming here, picked off 1. Did they pick pick off one or both Reavers there?
Just one Reaver, I think. I think he picked up the other one. But yeah. Oh, and there's a nice Maelstrom on those Mutas. No Storm to follow up this time, unfortunately. As Deja Vu put in his Ventrilo comment, Wombo combo. That's exactly what the Maelstrom Storm is. Wombo combo! Wombo combo! Where are you at? And Shine GG's. Part of being an aggressive player for Shine means that he doesn't get out when he's defeated. He stays in a little bit too long. That's exactly what we saw there. I think he was just trying to hopefully, you know, somehow fight his way back in by killing off Movie's economy. But just like you said, it didn't matter. Movie had too much of an army. So yeah, Shine is finally after defeating, you know, Violet and Stork and Bisu, is finally meeting his match with the safe, superior mechanics of Movie. So far, Movie going up 2-0 in this series. And we've at least seen some exciting plays so far, but it is a best of 5. Shine can still theoretically come back from this. So we'll have to see what happens in Game 3.